Take us inside if on one, let's take one example. Take the issue of the Russian disinformation, as you say. How would that work? What were you finding? What were they trying to get you to say?
Sure. So, it's out now in the public domain, but I'll just go back a little bit to give an example. In 2020, late 2019, early 2020, it was highly classified that President Putin had ordered all of the Russian services to denigrate the Democratic candidates and support then President Trump. So there was a push on across government at the senior levels, the cabinet officials, to do everything possible to stifle anything to get anything out to the American public or to our overseers in Congress.
About that interference.
About that interference. They did not want the American public to know that the Russians were supporting Trump and denigrating the what would soon be President Biden.
So do you think that that's a big story, or is that a small story?
I think it's a small story. I do.
Oh.
I do. You want my rationale?
Yeah, I do want to hear the rationale.
Okay, good. So I think it's reflective of the type of garbage that the Trump administration had to deal with for the duration of its existence in office. So remember, Trump comes into office and it's the entirety of his presidency there's this subcurrent of conspiracy that like the only reason he got into office is because the Russians worked with him to put him into office. It creates the Mueller investigation. There's all sorts of like just nonstop conspiracy theorizing, all of it horseshit, that somehow he was working with the Russians to be elected and that he wasn't responsible for his own election and that voters didn't choose him of their own accord. And so he's angry about this, right? For 4 years, for the whole duration, that he wanted fair and square. There's no collusion. How many times did you see a tweet that said no collusion? So the idea that they didn't want DHS to be trying to tell the American public that, the Russians would like to see Trump win and Biden lose. I'm not surprised by that at all. I'm not surprised. First of all, he's president of the United States.
Were you surprised by it? I don't think any of us were surprised.
No, but I just think that the idea that it's some sort of epic scandal that we would like, that the Trump White House in particular would be like, no, we're not going to feed that conspiracy theory going into the 2020 election. No, we're not interested in it. I'm not surprised by that. Now, is it a scandal? I would say it's low grade. Like I said, I don't think it's like a huge deal. I do think it's important that our government be transparent. And so I'm more on the school of like, hey, treat the American people like adults and tell them what's going on. But there is no question the American news media would have acted like utter children with some sort of intelligence claim in hand that says that Putin was interested in Trump being elected again.
Vince, come on, are you serious? You just got finished saying, the news media was irresponsible.
Yes.
In what they did with Hunter Biden.
Yes.
And Hunter, they should have shown us Hunter Biden slapping some prostitutes behind on some freaking laptop. It's irresponsible for them not to show that. But yet the government is keeping information from the press intentionally. And yet, that's, the government, because they're angry, they can do that. They can keep information from us. You're someone who you and I always agree. This is one place where we always find bipartisan agreement, is that the government should not be keeping information from the American people.
Yes.
If it's real, show it to us.
I agree.
But yet they're going around to all the higher ups in the government are saying, shh, don't tell anybody that the Russians, a foreign nation, is trying to keep, is trying to do certain things and undermine our election. Don't say it. Keep it quiet. And that, to me, is really troubling. Trump has done a really good job at countering that narrative, witch hunt, this, that. His people would not have changed one single vote for Trump had it come out that the Russians were doing this. But we as the American people have the right to know that. And you, government, that is, not you, Vince Coglianese, but you, government, don't have the right to say to the press, well, I don't think you can handle this information.